Hello, everyone. Jesus Penalty here with MK Partners, and thank you for joining us for another round of our monthly Mambo Merge Office Hour series. Today is Thursday, June 9th, and Matt Kaufman, our lead developer, is going to be walking us through some of the basic functionalities, setup, simple troubleshooting, and going over some of the new features that have just been released, as well as the product roadmap moving forward. So, thank you again for joining, and thank you, Matt, for doing this. Take it away.
Thanks, Jesus. I'm going to begin by sharing my screen. All right. And so we're not going to go over how to install Mambo Merge. I'm going to assume that if you're on this call or you're watching this video, you've hopefully already installed it. But if you haven't for some reason, what you want to do is go to the App Exchange or appexchange.com, search for Mambo Merge, and then you can click this Get It Now button to start the installation process. That'll walk you through logging into your Salesforce instance and installing the app into Salesforce. Once you've done that, that's what we're going to cover today. By the way, all of the things that we're going to go over today are available on our website, mambomerge.com, including the post-installation instructions, which will actually be presented to you once you do the installation from the App Exchange, but you can always come back here to see it or watch this video. So now that we've installed Mambo Merge into our Salesforce, we want to put it onto a screen. And in this case, we're pretending to work at a company that wants to use Mambo Merge with opportunities. So I've gone to a single opportunity here for Burlington Textiles Weaving Plant Generator. And we don't currently have Mambo Merge on this page. So I have to edit this page and put it on there. And this is something that normally an administrator would do, not an end user. An administrator would do this by clicking on the gear in the top right corner, clicking on Edit Page. While that's loading. So this is where an administrator can drag components that come with Salesforce, as well as ones that you build yourself, or ones that are installed from the App Exchange onto the page. And so we can see here, here's our page in the middle, and on the left-hand side, we have our components, and there's a list of standard components that come with Salesforce. And if I close this, we'll see custom ones that have been built in this particular org by a developer. And then down at the bottom, we have our Mambo Merge component. And so I'm going to click on this and drag it, and you can drag it anywhere on the screen that you want it to go. You'll notice that when I'm at a spot where I could drop it, that spot will become green. I'm going to drop it over here on the right-hand side, and it'll be in the sidebar. And you can see Mambo Merge actually already renders a little preview of what it's going to look like. We do have some attributes here on the right-hand side. We're going to come back to these. So for now, I'm just going to click the Save button. And if I had never edited this page before as an admin, it would prompt me to activate it. I'm going to go ahead and click the Activate button, activation button, just to kind of show you what that screen does. I've edited this one before, so it did prompt me. But what this activation screen allows you to do is to basically set this particular Lightning page as either an org-wide page that everyone's going to use, or be an app-specific page, or even just base it on record types and profiles. The simplest option is just to make it org-wide, so I've done that already. And I'll hit close. And then when I'm done saving, I can go ahead and back out. And what we'll see now when we look at our opportunity record is that the page has been updated to show Mambo Merge right where I dropped it on the page. So here's Mambo Merge. And at this point, I can already start using it. But this is not going to be the most efficient way to use it. But if you wanted to, you could drag and drop a file right onto this Upload Files or Drop Files box here. And that would do a merge, taking that template, the Word doc, and merging it with the data from this record into a brand new document that combines them both. Before we can really do that, though, we have to kind of create that Word doc, that template. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to jump over to Microsoft Word. And you can see here, I've already done all the work for this template. Typically, the way you start is by you take an existing Word doc that's filled in with all the information for like an existing opportunity in this case. And then you start to replace stuff. So instead of having the number 2022, for instance, for this year, you would replace it. And we include a special merge field that's a function, and that function is this year, and you can see that there. Same thing, if you had today's date in there, you would replace that. And then we come down, we see name, account.name, etc. Now, typically, this is where our customers come to us and say, how do I know what to put there? And so I'm going to jump back to Salesforce. And now that we have Mambo Merge on the screen, I can click this little menu button here on the top right corner of Mambo Merge, and we'll see there's a template builder. And what the template builder screen does is it shows you what merge fields are available based on where Mambo Merge currently is. So if you remember, Mambo Merge is currently on an opportunity. So it's going to show you the fields that are available when you're using Mambo Merge from an opportunity. And I'm going to click on this here, and we can see these are the objects that we know about automatically when you're on an opportunity. So we know about the opportunity itself, and we could do that and see all the fields on the opportunity, and we could see the name field. Here's a custom field, date letter generated, and it shows you the right syntax to use with our double curly brace notation to basically copy it from here and then paste it onto our Word doc. Now, opportunities are a standard object, so we know a little more about them than we would say a custom object that you created. We know that opportunities are related to accounts. And so we can see here the account object as well, and we can see the fields that are available on the account object. Now, which fields are available is going to differ depending on which edition of Mambo Merge you have. In our paid editions, we get you some additional fields. In the free edition, we get you just the ones that we kind of feel like you should have access to at a minimum. So here we can see if I wanted to get, say, the account name, there's that notation, account.name. And if we jump back to our Word doc, we'll see, sure enough, it's account.name. And so that's how you can go and start replacing the words in your actual document with our merge fields. Now, I always recommend if you ever see a spell check or grammar check to right-click and just say ignore. You can ignore once or ignore all. That'll take away that squiggly, and that reduces the chance of anything going wrong in a merge. Some other things I wanted to point out, besides those functions at the top, the this year function and the today function, you'll notice that this year is actually in bold. And Mambo Merge is going to respect that formatting. So when we generate this document, that year, 2022, is going to also be bold. If we come down a little further, we have some additional related objects. So here we have the owner, first name, owner, last name. Again, we know a lot about opportunities. We know that opportunities are typically owned by a Salesforce user, like a sales rep. And those often need to be in the document, so we include that for you. Dates will automatically be formatted. So if you're using a US locale, it'll be formatted with the US date format. If you're using a UK locale, because you're based in Europe, then we'll format the date accordingly as well. Same thing with currency fields. We'll automatically put in the currency symbol and have the comma and the decimal places and so on and so forth. Now down here we have some advanced functionality. You can see we have an if statement. And so what we're saying is if true, the stage name of this opportunity is equal to close one, then we're going to say, thanks for being our customer. And then we'll close that statement here with this / if true merge field. And then we have another one that says if false, stage name equals close one, meaning it's not false. We hope to do business with you. Now we could also say if true, stage name not equal to close one. We also support greater than and less than and greater than and equal to and so on and so forth. And those are also options for doing if statements inside your merge documents. Down here, we're going to output a rich text field. And that's going to actually convert the rich text in the record to Microsoft Word formatted text. And so if we have something bold in rich text, it'll be bold in Word, underline, lists, and so on and so forth. Come down a little further. Now here we have what we call a for each loop. So we know a lot about opportunities. We know that opportunities have opportunity products or opportunity line items related lists. And often, if you're going to be generating a document from an opportunity, you're going to want to show those line items in your document. And so what you can see here is we have a little table. And then here we're doing a for each loop. We're starting it at the end of the first line and then ending it at the end of the second line. And what's going to happen is for every product or line item on this opportunity, we're going to insert another row in that table. And then for each of those rows, we're going to fill in the fields from that line item. So the quantity, the name, unit price, etc. Here we have an image tag. So we have the ability to insert images. So if those images are in Salesforce and you have that file ID in Salesforce on the product, in this case, we'll go ahead and take that image, put it into the document, and render it just like you would see it anywhere else. We have the ability to change the size of that image if needed. Here we can see that we're scaling it down percentage-wise, 50%. You can also use pixels if you want to do it in pixels. Down here we have another for each loop. This one's doing for each opportunity contact roles. And instead of doing a table, we're doing bullets. And what's going to happen is for each contact role on that opportunity, we're going to display the name of the person as well as the role, and it's going to be indented with those bullets. A little further, we just have some other stuff. We do have some additional functions. Those functions are available in the template builder. And so you can see here, if you wanted to do lowercase of some text, you could use lower, uppercase to upper. If you had rich text and you don't want it converted, you just want the plain text, you can use the strip rich text field as well, function as well, to strip out all the formatting and just display the plain text. Okay, so now that I have my document and it's ready, I'm going to save it, and then I have to upload it to Salesforce. So let me close this, and I'm going to go to the Files tab. We're going to upload this file as a template that then we can then use with Mambo Merge. So I'm going to go ahead and click Upload Files, and I will choose that free opportunity template. I think that's the one. Actually, maybe it's this one here. We'll upload it. Actually, you know what? I better make sure I'm using the right one. It's called Mambo Merge Opportunity Template. Let me do that one more time. So I've uploaded it. What I'm going to do is actually go ahead and choose Upload New Version, and then I'll get the right one. There it is, Mambo Merge Opportunity Template. And you can do a little version there. We'll hit Save. All right. And so here's our template. Now, once it's uploaded, if we click on it, Salesforce will generate a little preview. While it's generating the preview, what I really want to do is click this little down arrow menu option and choose View File Details. Now, every record in Salesforce has a unique ID. And when you're looking at the record, you usually can see that unique ID in the URL bar at the very top of your browser. And that's what we want to do right now. We want to see this ID here. So here's the ID for our document that I just uploaded. I'm going to copy that ID. Here you can see the preview of that document. It looks great. Now I'm going to go back to our opportunity, and I'm going to edit the page again. Remember, I mentioned we'd come back here. So I'm editing this page. Now, when we looked at Mambo Merge the first time, it has that upload files, drop here little thing there. Well, what we can do is click on Mambo Merge and paste in that file ID. And what we're telling Mambo Merge is, this is the template that I want you to use. I don't need to upload one every time. And you'll notice it already changed. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save and then go back. And Mambo Merge is going to have just a button that says Merge. So we're telling Mambo Merge, please use this template every time I click this Merge button. And so I can come here and I can click this Merge button, and it'll go ahead and generate that document, and it's loading, and there you go. It already did it before I could even talk about it. And so this is the new document where we took the data from Salesforce. We took that template that we had uploaded, we put them together, and we got our brand new document. And you can see here, copyright 2022 in bold, just like I mentioned, the date, all that other information is being put into this document by Mambo Merge. Now I want to go back to Salesforce so we can look at some additional features. Often people say, well, what if I want two different buttons? Well, we have a couple ways of doing that. I'm going to go back to Edit Page. And I'll show you the first option, which is available in all of our editions, is to use standard Salesforce functionality to display a button under certain conditions and a different button under other conditions. Since we're limited screen space here, what I'm going to do is actually drag another instance of Mambo Merge to this page. And we'll say there's one here and there's one here. Now for this one, I'm going to click on it. And over here on the right-hand side, I can add a filter to set component visibility. So this is a built-in feature of Salesforce. And we're just going to say, only show this instance of Mambo Merge if the stage is equal to close one. And I'll hit done. And then we'll come to this other one over here on the left-hand side, and we'll say only show this instance of Mambo Merge if the stage is not equal to close one. Okay, and then we could tie different files, different templates, to each of those instances of Mambo Merge. Let's just make sure that that's stuck. Yeah, those filters are there. I'm going to go back, and we should only see one now at a time. So right now, our stage is closed one. We see this on the right-hand side. I'm going to click on Negotiation Review and set that as the stage, and the one on the right-hand side went away, and now we only have the one on the left-hand side. And you can do this as many times as you want, essentially making it look like the button is changing, when in reality, you're just using this built-in feature of Salesforce. You can also, I'm going to go ahead and actually set it back to close again. You can also use more advanced functionality than just stage. You can use it based on who the person is, and based on other attributes that are available in that filter. Now, sometimes our clients say, well, that's great, but actually I want to show the two buttons at the same time, and I'd rather not have two instances of Mambo Merge on the page at the same time. And so in our paid edition, we support a feature to allow you to do that. I click the Setup button in the Mambo Merge menu, and you can see here that we've set up these custom configurations. Let's see if I can find a good one. Let's look at maybe sales team templates. And so here what we've done is we've created this configuration. It's called sales team templates. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And we can see here that we've set up 2 templates, one called draft and one called final. And they're set to display as buttons. We also could display them as a dropdown. I'm going to just back out, and now that I've copied that configuration ID, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to edit the page again. And this time, instead of pasting in the ID for that file that I uploaded, I'm going to paste in that configuration ID. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to overwrite that, and I'll go ahead and hit save. You see it already changed on the screen, so you get a preview. I'll hit save and go back. And now you can see we're displaying 2 buttons at once. Now, if I had 3 buttons, 4 buttons, 5 buttons, etc., I'd have a couple options. One would be to put it in the bigger portion of the screen, and that way it's not going to get squished. Another option would be to display it as a drop-down menu. And so let's go ahead and make that change as well. So it said buttons. I'm going to change it to drop-down, and we'll hit save. And now it's a drop-down. So this could be a much longer list then. And so this gives the option for the user to decide what is the right template, as opposed to the first time. That's really limiting the user, and you're kind of setting it for them. They don't get to choose. I'll go ahead and just generate that document. Oh, I think that file got deleted. Let's go back to setup, and we'll take a look. So if we come here and we come to this setup, we can see here that there's 2 already here, and these are those same file IDs that we looked at earlier. Now, if I come to my list of files on the Files tab, I can see the different documents here. And yeah, I think that draft one is no longer here. So what I'm going to do is take this one again. And again, what we do is we go to the document, we choose the little drop down, we choose View File Details, and then we get the ID from the top. I'm going to copy that and come back to Mambo Merge Setup, and then I can paste it here. And just to be safe, I'll go ahead and paste it here as well. And we'll see that other things that we can change about this besides the button label is the file name that's generated could change, as well as where it goes. So you can attach it to the record. You can also download immediately. So for draft, maybe you want to download it immediately. You don't want to save that into Salesforce. Maybe you want to save it to Salesforce only when it's final. That seems like a good use case. You can also make a little note to yourself up here. So you can say what this is for. This is for use on opportunities. Often the configuration ID should be something related to where it's put. Sales team templates, I knew it was for an opportunity. But if I didn't know that, I would type it in here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and choose final. And we'll hit merge. And it went ahead and generated that document. We can click on this, and it'll download it. There we go, another document. And you can also see, because it got saved to Salesforce, if we scroll down here, you can see that document that was just created. So that file is now in Salesforce because I chose the attach to record option. Had I chosen download, it would have downloaded automatically. Once it's been generated, you can do whatever you want with it. We have clients that are kicking off emails or sending it to DocuSign or other electronic signature tools, uploading it to other servers, Box, Dropbox, that type of stuff. You basically, using our API, you're able to take that document and then do whatever you want with it. So that's the basic flow for how to get set up with Mambo Merge. What we went through, again, were all the steps in the post-installation script, as well as some advanced features for controlling what's on the screen. At this point, I think we can open up for questions. And as a reminder, if you're on mute, you'll have to unmute yourself or raise your hand. It looks like there's a queue. Chris, you have a question?
Yeah, and I might be jumping the gun a little bit because I saw that there's a webinar on Flow later this month. But I was curious. So we have a use case where when we close an opportunity, and that prospect converts into a client, we generate some welcome docs and a slide deck with their logo and things like that. So would it be possible to automate that with Mambo Merge, or would I need somebody to click that button after close winning the opportunity?
I mean, the answer is yes and no. What I would recommend for something the way you described is actually that you don't let your users use the standard functionality to close one, because you really want to make sure, especially since I heard you say the word logo, you want to make sure that all the required information that are needed to generate the document have been filled in. And a great way to require that information is actually to use Flow to have a little wizard where as part of the close win process, we fill in all the required fields, and then at the very end, you would have Mambo Merge embedded in that full flow to generate the document. That's what I would recommend. If for some reason you don't have required fields and you don't have the logo, or they're required much earlier in your process, not necessarily to mark it as closed won, then you could embed Mambo Merge on the screen with some custom component in front of it that would automatically run the merge if certain criteria was met. And so basically, when the rep hit close won, hit save, and then the page kind of reloaded, Mambo Merge would, the little component outside of Mambo Merge would recognize, oh, this record was just marked as closed won and we haven't run yet. Let me go ahead and run Mambo Merge. And we could do that too. We have a lot of recipes on our GitHub repo that kind of go over how to do more advanced functionality in front of Mambo Merge. And so that's what I would recommend, one of those two options.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Okay. Well, we're always here for support. If you have any questions, you can email us at support@mambomerge.com or reach out to us via phone. And we're happy to get on the phone and do a screen share like this and figure out how we can get you set up with Mambo Merge and being more efficient.